Hello, Hivers. Welcome to Honeybee Stamping Hive, where creative buzz is always in the air. I am Tashana Lundy, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Florida, serving customers all over the United States. And today, we're going to be making some projects using product from the new mini catalog. I can show the inside of the catalog today because it's catalog release day. Yay! So we're going to be using the Nests of Winter Designer Series paper, the Regal Flora stamp set, as well as the Autumn Expression dies, okay? But before we get started on our project, of course, we have to go over the buzzworthy business of the day. So I have the Autumn Abundance paper pumpkin kit. It makes 9 cards and has a Stampin' Spot of Cajun Craze. You have until the 10th of September to subscribe to get this particular kit. We also have the Every Celebration Dies add-on for $12 while supplies last. This die set coordinates with July, August, as well as September's paper pumpkin kit. There's a link in the description box below for you to sign up for the paper pumpkin, and you can always visit my blog at honeybeestampinhive.com for all of your latest updates regarding Stampin' Up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on our project. We are going to be making what I believe is called Inlay. So we're going to be making a cute little card. We have a copper clay as our base. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're just going to burnish down that score line. Then I have some gray granite here that is 5 by 3 3/4. And a piece of basic white for the inside that is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So we're going to go ahead and glue down the paper for our inside, and we're going to get that all done. Oh, actually, before we glue that down, I need to stamp. So I have just a little foliage stamp, and we're going to stamp in copper clay, but I do need to see about how far. We're just going to stamp that right there like that. That's all we're going to need that for. So let's go ahead and put some designer series paper down here at the bottom. Oh boy, I think I wasn't supposed to put that glue all the way to the end. Yep. So we're going to let this dry a little bit because I've got glue where I didn't want it. And I don't have my scissors to cut. Okay, where's my silicone craft sheet? Because I'm not done with this. I need to glue some more on here. So we're going to put a little strip of glue right above the designer series paper. And I have a piece of basic black that we're just going to, let me do it this way so we can cut at the same end. I'm going to put that, ooh, line that up right there, just like that. And then we'll give this a second to dry, and we'll move on to our next portion of the card before we finish the inside. Okay, so I have another piece of basic black here. This is 5 1/4 by 4. I'm gonna layer that right on here. But before we do that, I've gone ahead and used the Autumn Expression dies to partially die cut this piece of the designer series paper. I used the little frame looking die here. Now this is a bigger side of this. This one cuts out a smaller piece, so I use this end to die cut this little portion off, and we're going to put this on the side. Okay, and from the previous can't remember when I did it, but when I made a bunch of cards using the Splendid Autumn Designer Series paper, when I made like, I think 12 or 24 cards, I made a bunch of die cut a bunch of these frames in basic black, and these also come out with the insides that would be this shape. So we're going to do an inlay using this. So I've gone ahead and glued together 2 of these already. So we're going to do a third one, and I'm just going to line them up and glue them together. Okay, so we're just going to put some liquid glue on there, just little dots. You don't need much. I probably should have been doing this on a silicone sheet too. I'm trying to keep my work surface from getting glue all over it, because it really doesn't want to come off of it. So every time I clean it, seems like the very next time I use it, I get glue everywhere. So we have it like this. Just gonna let that sit. Okay, so we're gonna let this adhere itself together for a second, and we can go back to our inside now. And I'm just gonna have to use these scissors that I really don't want to use, but we're gonna use those. And now we're gonna glue this to the gray granite. And I chose gray granite because that is one of the colors in the designer series paper. That looks really pretty. Sometimes the insides, after I put them together, I'm thinking, oh man, I could have did that on the front of the card, because it looks so nice. Okay, so we're just gonna put that on the inside and let that be done. So I actually have some embossing to do, some heat embossing. So while we're waiting on our frames to dry, we're gonna go ahead and do our heat embossing. So let me get out my little, what is it called? My embossing buddy. And we're gonna go ahead and rub that over our area we need to resist any fingerprints or anything like that. So let me get all this off. And I'm gonna be using the sentiment, wishing I were there to give you a hug, because I thought it went perfectly with this. Isn't that cute? The two little birds. So we're going to be doing that. So let me get my Versamark ink. Versamark is just like a watermark ink. It just gives it like a little wet. It doesn't have a color. So I want to stamp that about right here on our cardstock. Yes, it's there. I don't know if you can see it. You kind of have to look at it at an angle. And we're going to heat emboss that in the copper. This is the Wow Copper Embossing Powder. We're just going to sprinkle that all over. Just like that. And we're going to take this and dump the extra back into the container. Okay. Close this up because you don't want to make a mess. I'm going to close that up. I'm going to tap on the back to get any excess of the powder off. Then we're going to get our heat tool and heat this up. And just like that, we have some copper embossing. Okay, so now we can go ahead and we're going to glue this on right where we want it. So I'm just going to take my liquid glue. And I'm going to put it about right here. I'm going to get it all the way to the edge. And what's going to make it an inlay is all of these layers of frame that we're going to put over here, so it looks like the designer paper is inlaid in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me check this out again. So about right here. I don't want to put too much glue. Just put glue to the point where we need it. Okay, and then I'm gonna try to get it on here without making too much of a mess. Okay, so we have that. And I also used the dies to cut out some little foliage here. I did one in crumb cake, gray granite, and copper clay, because those are the colors in here. And so now I think I am just going to put them on here like so. Just arrange them coming down like that. I think that is super cute. Let me see. Yeah, I think I want the gray one at the top. So let's go ahead and dot this with glue and get all 3 of these put on. Okay, so now we have all 3 leaves put on there. I believe our frame has had enough time to dry, so we're just going to turn it over and snip these edges. Just like that. That's discarded for the garbage. Isn't that cute? Oh, goodness. Then we're just going to add this to our card base. I want to make sure to get glue right up to the edge of this, because when you heat emboss, sometimes it tends to make your cardstock curl a little bit. So we want to make sure that this is getting stuck down really good. Ooh, look at that. And we haven't even put the bling on yet. So I have here some Earth Tones Shimmer Gems. This is in a suite with the Nests of Winter suite with the Designer Series paper. There's a stamp set and dies that goes with this Designer Series paper. But as you see, we're not using that today. So this comes in Copper Clay, Very Vanilla, Crumb Cake, and Garden Green. And I think I want to put one of that one. Let's see, we'll put this one here, and I'll use a Very Vanilla up here. Just like that. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys, that is it. That's all. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I would like to thank you for buzzing by the Hive today. Until next time, buzz you later.